It's a panel discussion on powering India's growth cycle through MSME IPOs. For that, I would like to invite our moderator, Mr. Ajay Thakur, CEO and Managing Director, TGI SME Capital Advisors LLP, and our panelists, Mr. Riddhesh Shah, Deputy Vice President, BSc SME and Startups, BSc Limited, Mr. Kamal Dharewa, Founder, Ashwath Capital Markets and SME IPO Expert, Mr. Subham Chatterjee, Associate Partner, ALMT Legal, and Mr. Ajaya Sharma, Senior Vice President, Capital Market Communication Group, Adfactors PR Limited.
So this event starts with finance and going to end with finance. So it starts with bank financing and now it is going to end with capital financing. So I think that most of you must be aware about the capital market, how the stock exchanges have contributed to the growth of Indian industries. Many of the small and medium industries who got listed now became blue chip companies because of the equity market. And in 2010, both the stock exchanges have started the SME platform launched in 2012. And now we have almost 1,400 SMEs listed on the stock exchange. They have raised almost 50,000 crores and the market capitalization touched all-time high of 5 lakh crores. So that's how this SME platform has become with time has become the growth engine for India. And in that connection, we are going to discuss a lot of things regarding to a small, medium enterprises. And with us, we have very eminent panelists. So to my left is Mr. Riddhesh Shah. He is Deputy Vice President, BSc, looking after listing of small and medium enterprises. Then we have Mr. Kamal. He is the founder of Ashwath Capital. Normally he invests in capital markets. He runs a fund. So he is a specialist in capital markets and invests a lot in pre-IPO stage and post-IPO also and helps in the growth of the company. Then we have Mr. Subham Chatterjee. He is the associate partner of ALMT Legal. You know, when you are in a country starting a company, the first and foremost thing that is required that you need the legal compliances and all other things in the country so that you can run your business very smoothly. And to talk and deliberate on that, we have Mr. Subham Chatterjee. Then we have Mr. Ajay Sharma. So he has got a very rich experience. Earlier you could have seen him on ET and various other places. He used to take interview of lot of promoters, try to take their insights. And that process he might have understood the promoters better than promoters might have understood themselves. Now he is in Adfactors and helping the promoters to project their companies. And you know, to market yourself is the most important thing in today's world. Unless until you market yourself, nobody will be able to know you. And India is a population of 150 crores people. We have got 6.3 crore MSMEs. And we are competing with each other. Unless until we position ourselves strongly, we will not be able to move forward. And so Ajay Sharma will talk on that. So first of all, let me start. And as far as myself is concerned, I worked for 32 years in capital market. With BSc, I was for 27 and a half years. I was the one who has started the SME platform of the stock exchange before leaving the stock exchange in 2024. And now I am running a fund and also does advisory services. So this is all about me. So to start with, let me take the first question to Mr. Riddhesh Shah. Riddhesh, you have been in Bombay Stock Exchange for a while and you have earlier experience of capital market also. Just I want to understand from you that if an SME wants to get listed, what are the eligibility criteria that have been prescribed by the stock exchange?
A very good afternoon, everyone. And I thank BCCI for having BSc as one of the panelists. So it gives us a lot of pleasure and joy to be presenting to the probable SMEs out here who would want to get listed sometime in the future. So as far as SMEs are concerned, the eligibility criteria are very lenient and simple and flexible. You need to have EBITDA, operating profit of 1 crore for 2 years and out of the past 3 years. Then you need to have a net worth of at least 1 crore in the past 2 financial years. And you need to have net tangible assets of 3 crores in the past financial years. Now, this is as far as the financial, from the performance perspective, it is concerned. From the leverage perspective, the leverage cannot be more than 3 times. 3:1 is the leverage ratio. And any company that comes to the exchange for getting listed, you need to compulsorily be compliant with all the statutory requirements and all the laws of the land. Because it's more important that, the regulation is set or the discipline is set right before you go and hit the market. So you have to be compliant. So these are the bare minimum criteria that any company that is coming to the market requires.
Once more, if you can say for the interest of the promoters or their advisors and consultants, just 4 points that what is necessary for the company or what are the eligibility criteria for getting the company listed. 4 points short. EBITDA
should be at least 1 crore for 2 financial years out of the past 3 financial years. The net worth has to be 1 crore for past 2 financial years. And the net tangible assets has to be 3 crores, at least 3 crores in the past financial year. So these are the reported financials which goes in the offer document, the restated financials which go in the offer document. So these are the 3, and the 4th one has to be the leverage ratio cannot be more than 3:1. So these are the 4 basic criteria which you need to check on.
Thank you. Mr. Kamal, you have been investing in a lot of SMEs. What you are seeing that what are the investment rationales for you before investing in the SMEs? And where you find the challenges in the SMEs because of which you are unable to invest in those companies? And what are your suggestions or advice for these, the promoters of the SMEs?
See, there are multiple factors actually which we look at while we invest in companies. So first and foremost, what is more important us is having a clean balance sheet. Now that is something very important. You, the promoter, and the company are 2 different persons. Don't put your personal expenses on the company's balance sheet. A clean balance sheet is always something which we look for. Secondly, compliances, as you rightly mentioned, is something which you can't take, you cannot take for granted as such. So if you are compliant, it's good for us. Your due diligence will be smoother, and investors will look at as a positive thing for sure. So clean balance sheet, clean compliance, and yes, of course, there's no dearth of business, I would say. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Business is waiting with open hands for you. It's like how much you can grab. And investors are again waiting. If you want money, there's no dearth of capital as well. We have banks which is providing you working capital, and we have investors, equity investors, who are happy to provide you for your capex requirements, which will definitely take your companies to the next level. So I think these are the major requirements which we look for.
And normally, what is the P multiple you are looking before investing into a company?
Okay, I think the situation is so fluid right now. There have been times where people have been asking for multiples like 25 or 30, and now the time where there are 10, 12, 15 also. But one thing is, which I would like to put forward is, for promoters, don't look at valuations. Look at the business. Look at value. आप क्या create कर रहे हैं? That is what is more important. Because the moment you start getting into valuations, मुझे क्या मिलेगा? What can be the valuation and all? The entire game changes. Your perspective shifts from creating value to creating valuation, and that's something which we tell all our promoters, that just look at creating value. Markets will reward you suitably in the long term. So that is what is more important. So a lot of promoters come to us, they have been meeting a lot of consultants and they're telling, no, I need to get so much of valuation, otherwise I will not go to the market. You are losing out on opportunity. Don't wait for the right opportunity, the right opportunity is now. And so just imagine, what can you do if you have 25 crores in your bank account right now? Just imagine the kind of business you can do as of today as such. And markets will keep changing. Today the situations are different. There's a lot of global factors, macroeconomic factors and all. But ek saal baad kya hoga, 2 saal baad kya hoga, no one knows. You have the opportunity today to create value. Use it to the fullest.
Thank you, Kamal. Mr. Subham, as you are part of a legal firm, and you must have been doing a lot of legal compliance for a lot of the companies which are coming for listing, both on the main board, on the SME board. What are the, challenges that you face, or where are the, where you have to handhold the promoters while doing the, compliance? As per the, as far as listing is concerned, it comes under ICDR guidelines. So can you throw some picture on that so that, promoters while coming for listing, they approach to you or, they check all those things and try to, amend their regulations, compliances, etc., and then go for listing?
Good afternoon to everyone. To be honest, the compliance part comes into the picture actually once the company is listed. I mean, we all know that operating private limited companies from a compliance perspective is far more flexible than listed entities. When you are listed, all the SEBI regulations, the master circulars, yes, there are carve-outs. So just to give you an example, under the SEBI LODR regulations, there are carve-outs available for certain companies on the corporate governance regulations, which is a part like from regulation 17 to regulation 25 around certain companies whose turnover, net worths, they are less. So they have certain exemptions. Similarly, from a Companies Act point of view, a lot of private limited companies, they enjoy a lot of flexibilities basis the June 2015 circular. Now, yes, the compliance part becomes tricky and also serious, extremely serious once you are listed. But yes, before listing also, certain compliances, I mean, you need, sir has mentioned the compliance, one of them which is also an important criteria is that the paid up capital post-issue should be between 10 to 25 crores. And these are the requirements. So chapter 9, SEBI ICDR mentions all these requirements. There are compliances to be observed for the promoters and promoter groups as well. So those mappings need to be done as per the SEBI ICDR and the other master circulars and regulations also. Under the Companies Act, right, and also the rules, right from your maintaining of the minutes, right from your maintaining of your statutory registers, they have to be maintained in a manner which is complete, which is legally compliant, so that there are no possibilities of any red flag. Then in addition to that, certain other compliances, so just one example, because something which Mr. Kamal also pointed out is that your balance sheet. So a lot of times we see that, which he also rightly pointed out, that mixing of personal expenses with the company's expenses. So a lot of times when you take loans from promoters, so that is also governed by one particular rule, that is the company's acceptance of deposit rules. Now yes, you can take loans from directors and from relatives of directors, but there are legal compliances which are there as well. So during those times, and some of these compliances are time barred. Some of these compliances have to be recorded by way of resolutions, special resolutions. Some of them have to be notified to the ROC by way of filings. So, I mean, these are the what, in simple words, I would say the homework, which you need to do at the time when you have that vision that, okay, by this time, I am going to hit the market with an SME IPO. So your homework needs to be very thorough. On the compliance part, which is post-listing, yes, there are a lot of policies which you need to have in place. There are a lot of infra. So for example, one very important regulation and a compliance which will kick in is the SEBI insider trading regulations. So for that, you need to have your proper systems in place. So these are the, I mean, I would not call them challenges, but these are the checklist items which you need to ensure that you are totally complied with to avoid any red flags.
Great. You know, you all have to do compliances. You know, when you are running your company, in fact, you have listened Mr. D'Souza also. So whether today you are a private limited company or a limited company, you have to do all the compliances. And then you have to understand that, you know, if you are thinking that you don't have to do compliances, so I am going to remain a private limited company, then you must understand that the most important thing for any company is finance. And if by doing some compliances, you can get finance from the market, then better do those compliances, get yourself listed, and have the access of both debt and equity funding. And that is very important. All the companies world over, one thing if it is common in all the large corporates existing in the world is that all of them are listed companies. This is the one thing that is common. And if you think that, okay, let us go for bank financing, then let me tell you one more thing. All the banks of India are listed. So if banks can go for listing, why not you? So better get your company by doing some compliance, get your company also listed. Mr. Ajay, you have a long career of, you know, interacting with a lot of promoters, SME promoters also. Tell me one thing, and what I have also found in last, 14, 15 years of my running SME platform, that SME promoters are unable to project themselves or present themselves. What do you think that they should do so that, you know, this can also glorify their business, present to the investors so that investors should start buying their shares?
Yeah. That's a very important point you raised, Mr. Thakur. First of all, thank you, Bombay Chambers, for inviting Adfactors to be contributing in this panel. Over 2 decades of working very closely with promoters on the one hand, from 200 crore to 15 lakh crore in market cap, and on the other hand, funds 500 crore in assets under management to 5 lakh crore. I've observed that one of the most critical things, apart from fundamentals, what impact the valuation in the market is how well you tell your story. What is your equity narrative? What is the uniqueness of your business proposition? Why should an investor invest in your company? The onus of telling that story well lies on the promoter. And bulk of the times I've seen that smaller companies perhaps do not pay adequate attention to this factor. And then later on, they actually face the problem that मेरे को अच्छी company, अच्छे investors anchor में नहीं मिले. Somehow I did not get the best response. And not only going to the IPO, you have to have very high, you should sit with an expert in mind, अपनी equity narrative आप बनाइए, highlight करिए promoters की legacy क्या है, आपका business model superior कैसे है versus in the market, what is your larger vision, 3 to 5 year में, where do you see your company? You have to get the investor to bite in the story and give them confidence कि boss, ये smaller company is a tomorrow's giant. A lot of times I see half-baked stories hitting the market. And then there is no follow-up buying. Because वो initial euphoria में बना, फिर फुस हो गया. Not only at the time of listing, Mr. Thakur, a lot of time after listing, how well you communicate numbers की trajectory, quality of con call, earning. But now I must say that many SMEs and smaller companies are realizing the importance of it. The quality of disclosures, key management people change हो रहे हैं, आप कितनी speed से respond करते हैं exchanges पे, अपनी analyst meet के बाद the the detailed presentation you give. So जितना आप मेहनत करेंगे बाजार को अपना business model समझने में better communication से बाजार आपको उतना ही value करेगा. Over and above आपकी earnings का क्या है. तो ये बहुत high critical और बहुत strategic area है, which maybe a lot of companies are not realizing it, but increasingly people are understanding. Because अभी बहुत ज़्यादा options बहुत हैं. So if you don't tell your story well, somebody else will, and he will take away the dollar on the table.
Riddhesh, just want to understand, when you approach to the promoters, what are the challenges that you face in convincing the promoters to get listed? Well, why I'm asking him this question, because in my lifetime, I was running the SME platform. I met almost 42,000 promoters across the country. And then I was able to bring almost, by the time I left, around 1,000 companies get listed. So you can understand the conversion ratio. So Riddhesh, what are the challenges that you face while going to know? Of course, some awareness has come, but still a lot of challenges are there. What are those challenges that you are facing?
So first and foremost, so you rightly said that 42,000 and the conversion rate is very low. Even today, we see a lot of unawareness. That's the first thing that goes. Even a person sitting in Mumbai, he's saying, okay, SME IPO, even my company can go and do an SME IPO. So that is one thing. But having said that, even if he has to go and do SME IPO, he's like, I don't want to do. There's a fear. He can't take a decision and he doesn't want to take a decision. Why should I do an SME IPO? I am running my company, I am running my business the way I want to, and I am happy with that. I don't want to do an SME IPO. But is it helping the company? Is it helping him? So the first and foremost thing is the indecisiveness or the fear of taking a decision, the fear of losing control, the fear of opening up, showing a lot of things. I have built this business. I'm a small businessman. I started small. Today I've reached a position. I have, created a lot of, clients for myself. What if I disclose this? Then I will lose business to my competitors. So there are a lot of fears that are there in the mind of the promoters, which rightfully will be there with him, should be there with him. But having said that, all these fears are, not truly justifiable because, you're not opening your trade secrets. You're just trying to create value for yourself. Today, so you know that we have today there were 3 companies that got listed. So we have 696 companies that are listed on the BSE SME platform. These companies, on an aggregate, they have raised almost around 14,600 crores. Now, 14,600 crores is a fundraise. But look at the value that it has created for all these companies. The market capitalization of all these 696 companies is over 1,90,000 crores. Now, this is a value creation that has happened for the entire ecosystem. Now, a lot of these companies, they raised some 3 crores, 5 crores. Today, their market capitalization is over 5,000 crores. There are so many companies which came and listed on the SME platform. They migrated to the main board. And not only that, they have gone on to the A group of BSE. They are all the big boys of the stock market. So the value creation that the SME IPO can do is immense. So the most important and the utmost important point is that the promoters have to take a decision that yes, I want to do an SME IPO and be ready to welcome shareholders on their board.
Thank you, Riddhesh. Very well said. And at least I think that whatever the people who are present here, they can go and tell the people that there are, multiple benefits that they can avail while going for listing. When I have started SME platform, I don't have a single merchant banker. I don't have a single company. So we have started with a scratch. Now, in this market, we have got 80 merchant bankers. So now there is no dearth of merchant bankers. Any promoter can approach to any merchant banker, take their services, raise their funds, and, you know, take their business to next level. What Riddhesh is saying, and I'm witness to that, one company approached to me, and when I got it listed, their turnover was 10 crores and the profit was 1 crore. Today the company's turnover is 150 crores and profit after tax is 60 crores. So that is the transformation I have seen. One retail chain company was there that during my tenure it got listed having a turnover of around I think 60-70 crores with a profit of around 1.5 crores. They have today profit of 120 crores and a turnover of around 2,000 crores. So that sort of growth we have seen on the SME platform. Perhaps it could not have happened if they have relied only on debt funding. So besides that, you know, a lot of things happen. You know, you get credibility by getting your company listed. You get visibility. People start knowing you. This is a journey of wealth creation. Okay, everyone teaches you income tax generation, you know, removal of poverty, etc. But a stock exchange is only a platform which will teach you how to create wealth. So this is the platform, this is the stock exchange is the platform where the companies can get listed and create wealth, and that also contribute to the treasury of the government of India and also create lot of employment. So that's how the things work. Kamal, you know, so many times it happens that, you know, invest in 100 companies or 10 companies or 15 companies. Not in all companies you make money. So what goes wrong, you know, while investing in these companies, you know, whether the selection is good, bad, or there is some issue with the promoters. So can you deliberate on that?
Yes, absolutely. So, so definitely when we invest, we do all our due diligence and understand the promoters, understand the business, understand the management structure as well, because that's again very important to understand. And so all those things happen, but I think business is so dynamic that certain things may go wrong, and they do go wrong as well. So we know we had one company wherein they had got good orders coming in, and they had some government regulatory change happened overnight, and the business vanished. Now that is something which they have no control over. Now, of course, there are certain companies which, promoters, unscrupulous things do happen in the market, and everyone knows about it. That is something which we try to avoid. So out of, I'm sure 10 companies we invest in, there would be certain companies where we might not make money. But the idea at the end of the day is that are the balance 8 promoters, are they making money for themselves, for the investors, for the company and the entire ecosystem as well. So, so I think regulatory changes is something which needs to be read very properly. That is very important again. Business models do fail sometimes. We see there are people who have raised funds and the business model completely failed, which they would have not comprehended earlier as well. So that also is something which we have seen happening with companies as such. So I think what is more important is how do you pivot from one business model to another business model, how fast you pivot. So the decision making, what you mentioned about, is again very important. How fast you take decision and how you take your investors into confidence. That again becomes very important part. So as investors, we don't want to run your business. We will not tell you on a daily basis, oh, what you are doing, how you are doing, come and keep reporting us as such. We don't want to do that. What is important is that you take your investors into confidence. Tell them this is what is happening. If you are facing any challenges, trust me, investors, as investors, we are ready to help you open doors where you want a foot into as such. And we would always be very happy to introduce you to other people in your industry where there is a possibility of any transaction or a JV or a merger kind of a thing as such. So what is important is how fast you take decisions, how you keep your investors into confidence. Even if you need more money, how you take approach your investors, again, that also becomes very important. So transparency is very important. If you can be transparent with your investors, I'm sure your investors would be ready to listen to you, and also fast decision making can help you not kind of go broke.
If I ask you that, what is more important, promoter or company? What will you say?
I think promoter definitely is the most important because promoter ही company को run कर रहा है. So my hands down, it will go with promoters.
Thank you. Subham, as far as SME platform is concerned, there has been relaxation on post-listing compliances. Can you throw some light? Because, initially SME promoters, when he approaches to the stock exchange, that fear of compliances is always there in the mind. Okay. So, of course, SME platform has given some relaxation on post-listing compliances. If you can throw some light on that.
So as you rightly pointed out, I mean, something which scares promoters is when we initially go to them with the compliance checklist. And that is huge, that is massive. But yes, post-listing compliances, ease of lock-in and all, they have given them certain comfort as to, because they understand that the investment, their own investment, right? They will not be, they will be able to liquidate that as well. They will be able to capitalize on those relaxations as well. I mean, as I have pointed out that under the LODR also, like certain norms, certain compliances are to be followed by companies only which are above 10 CR of net worth and 25 CR of turnover. So these relaxations are very important. They give confidence to the promoters that yes, after listing also, I will have certain flexibility. I mean, you will also appreciate, and anybody will appreciate, that that the first objective of any promoter, a businessman, is to do the business, improve the top line and improve the bottom line. Nobody wants to spend his entire time on compliances. While compliances are important, but if they start eating up on your time and on your flexibility to do business, then that scenario will not be conducive for the overall business ecosystem. So therefore, relaxations in terms of, the smaller companies to the promoters, they are the welcome moves which have been undertaken by SEBI through its recent amendments, which give confidence to the promoters of SME IPOs that yes, obviously one way I'll be able to unlock my capital. Second, through being a listed company, I can drive my business better, far more professional manner, and at the same time, I will keep enjoying certain flexibilities in my day-to-day operations.
So, to add what Subham has said, on the SME platform, there are some relaxations. Say, for example, you don't have to file finances on quarterly level. That audited, you don't have to file on quarterly basis. You have to file on half-yearly basis. Half-yearly basis, you have to file unaudited balance sheet, whereas on yearly basis, you have to file your audited balance sheet. And also your shareholders, report also you have to file on half-yearly basis, not on quarterly basis. So these are the two relaxations that have been given to the SME promoters because, doing audit on quarterly basis is a big challenge for many of the SME promoters. Therefore, a lot of relaxations have been given there. So these are some relaxations which are given on the SME platform. Ajay ji, you have talked about, importance of communication and PR. Have you seen any growth post doing this PR communication, IR communication, or interacting with media to the masses? Or, you find that there are some resistance with the promoters before interacting, or there have been some negative effect because of that communication?
Yeah, sure. So, very good point, sir, you asked. I have seen in the smaller companies, there is one section of the smaller companies, there is some kind of a hesitation in reaching out to the investor community via media publications, because they feel that the more I reach out, the more I'll be scrutinized. So there's some amount of fear in opening up their books, opening up their plans, and overall transparency. What it happens is that these kind of companies, even the intention is not to hide. Market is, the wisdom of the masses put together is very smart. They start raising suspicion. On the other hand, there is one section of the market where smaller companies, they look at their larger benchmarks and they already behave the way larger companies are behaving. The regular outreach to the investors, clear communication. As Kamal was saying, if it is bad news, it is the company who is supposed to tell the bad news first. Then market gives you a very long rope. Market rewards companies which are, very clear in communication and transparent in outreach, and punishes those which hides, even if it is good news or bad. So I've seen companies which are very transparent get disproportionately rewarded. Even in bad news, the stock doesn't fall much because they know that company वाला साफ बताता है 2 quarter खराब रहेंगे 4 quarter में ठीक हो जाएगा. And when there are companies which are trying to hide or mixed communication or no lack of clear strategy, people leave that stock price even after listing. Then अरे यार वो management तो पता नहीं क्या clear strategy नहीं है, clarity से बताता नहीं है क्या नहीं हो रहा है company के अंदर. So might as well, there are so many other. So this is a very clear differentiation and distinction which market has started doing lately.
So we have only 4 minutes left. So now I would like to have some closing remarks from everyone. So starting with Riddhesh, what is your message for the SME promoter?
I would just say that all the promoters should plan a listing of their business. For one simple reason, don't think you're big or small. Even companies like Dr. Reddy's, they had raised, their initial fundraise was only 75 lakh rupees equity. So you know the history, it is history. When you get listed, people will come looking for you rather than you going looking for people. There are a lot of benefits associated with it. See, listing is a sign of growth, and your employees, right from your internal stakeholders, that is your employees, to your external stakeholders, they all want to be part of that journey. You can keep your employees happy, you can keep all the other stakeholders happy because you're being transparent, you're giving out all the information. Not only that, a lot of international players, like we heard a lot of consulates speaking today, they will reach out to you rather than you coming here and being a part of the session. They will want to reach out to you because you're already listed on the stock exchange, you are visible, you have branding. And more importantly, it sets the journey for you to go to the next level, to grow and leave a legacy for the next generations to come. So listing makes history and it creates history. So I would want all of you to get listed in any form that any period that you have in mind.
Yeah, Kamal.
I think the way we have KYC, I would say KYI, you should know your investors, very important. Now that is something which will help you not focus on valuation but on value creation, and that is how. So when you say when I say know your investors, it means they are standing with you, they are focusing on your growth, because when when you will grow, when your business will grow, of course the investors' money will also grow along with your wealth, right? So that is very important. If you are working with advisors, with consultants, tell them, make me meet the investors. Who is going to invest money in my company? I want to know them. I want to be there, because investors, if you get investors who have patient capital, then you will be having a lot of time to use that money to grow the business as such. So you need that patient capital which comes and sits with you, and also the investors who are ready to help you, ready to open doors for you where you need some help as such. So I think that is something which I would put forward.
Yeah, thank you. Subham?
So my piece of advice would be to SME IPO promoters would be that do your homework well, don't get scared of compliances, and think big, because what Mr. Kamal also rightly pointed out, that you can grow your business exponentially when you have a solid team of investors backing you. Because come to think of it, had Dhirubhai been scared of compliances, there would have been no Reliance. Had GRD been scared of compliances, there wouldn't have been Tatas. So think big. Thank you.
Ajay ji.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'd like to say is that what my friends and panelists, co-panelists are saying, if you have a solid story, don't hesitate to take it to the market in a very clear communication roadmap. As you are preparing for IPO with compliances, you have your fundamentals in place. Also sit with, consultant and draft a communication strategy. How will you articulate your narrative to the right kind of investors? And now there are not only retail HNI, but family offices, several institutions. Everybody is ready to look at you and consider partnering with you so that you can get the right quality of investors. It is very essential to draft a clear strategy of communication. So don't hesitate from that. Thank you.
Thank you. Time is everything. And this is the last session before lunch. Everybody must be finding herself hungry. So, of course, you can. But before ending it, let me tell you, because we are from the capital market, I have seen the capital market very closely. When in 96 I joined BSc, BSc Sensex was 2,900. And today the Sensex is 85,000. So you can understand how much wealth it generated throughout the years. And all the promoters who got listed, they have benefited a lot. Stock market is a place which is safest for the promoters and riskiest for the investors. Always understand and keep in your mind. A stock market is the safest place for the promoters and riskiest place for the investors. So I will request the promoters, please venture into the capital market. That is the one thing. Second thing that I have told you, that it's only a place, because I always tell the promoters that there are only two people who issue currency. One is Reserve Bank of India governor and another is the promoter. Because both equity and rupee, both are tradable instrument. But sometimes I say that in fact equity promoters are more stronger than Reserve Bank of India governor, because rupee depreciates with the time because of inflation. And in the rupee, the RBI governor also promised to pay the bearer the denomination of the currency. But equity promoters never give any promise to anyone. So if 100 rupees shares goes to 500, the biggest beneficiary is the promoter. But if 100 rupee comes down to 50 rupees, no one go to the promoter's office to do the tandem. So my suggestion to all the promoters that of course it's good for you to create wealth, do your business with ethics, right intention, right strategy, proper strategy, take the well-wishers and the right people in your fold and take your company to the next level, because this country requires entrepreneurs more than anything else. So with this, we thank Bombay Chamber of Commerce to call all of us for this great panel discussion. Normally, capital market people are always called the last. So we have been always called the last, and I have seen earlier also, whenever initially SME platform was not taken off, we used to sponsor the event, and then I get the last opportunity to speak. And by that time my turn comes, the organizer comes and tell into my ear, sir, we are running short of the time, please finish it as fast as you can. So it keeps on happening, but SME platform has taken a big step, and now it has created huge wealth in the country and created a lot of companies. With this, wish you all the best, and let me tell you today, coming to this Bombay Chamber of Commerce event becomes very good thing for me, because when I entered this hall, the Nifty was 250 points down. By the time I came on the stage, it was 40 points up. So it was good thing. So I compliment and congratulate Bombay Chamber of Commerce. Thank you and wish you all the best.
Indeed, it was a thought-provoking panel discussion. I request Mr. Rajan Raje, CEO Nicam Solutions and Chairperson MSME Forum Bombay Chamber, to please present mementos to our speakers as a token of appreciation. A huge round of applause for our panelists. Starting with our moderator, Mr. Ajay Thakur, CEO and Managing Director, TGI SME Capital Advisors LLP. Sir, we'll definitely think about that time reference you gave at the last moment. Thank you so much. Our panelist, Mr. Riddhesh Shah, Deputy Vice President, BSc SME and Startups, BSc Limited. Mr. Kamal Dharewa, Founder, Ashwath Capital, Capital Markets and SME IPO expert. Mr. Subham Chatterjee, Associate Partner, ALMT Legal. And Mr. Ajay Sharma, Senior Vice President, Capital Market Communication Group, Adfactors Private Limited. I request everyone to please stand up for a group picture. A huge round of applause. Thank you so much, everyone. As we reach the end of the session, I invite Mr. Rajendra Zay, Chairperson MSME Forum Bombay Chamber and CEO Nicam Solution to please deliver the closing remarks and vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
I am indeed privileged to perform the pleasant task of proposing the vote of thanks at the MSME Conclave 3.0. On behalf of Bombay Chamber and on my personal behalf, I extend my sincere thanks to all our distinguished speakers who address and enrich the MSME community with their insights, experience and vision. A special word of thanks to Mr. Rajiv Anand for his welcome address and to Mr. R. Srinivasan for setting the theme of conclave so effectively. We are deeply grateful to our keynote speaker, Mr. Rajesh Kumar, Deputy Managing Director, Retail, Agri and SME, State Bank of India, for sharing his valuable perspectives and inspiring thoughts, which provided meaningful direction to today's discussions. I extend my sincere gratitude to our speakers of Fireside Chat on the implications of the new labor codes on MSMEs. Mr. Lancy D'Souza and Mr. R. Srinivasan for their insightful and practical deliberations on subject of critical importance to the MSME. I would also thank Mr. Virat Kumar for the informative presentation highlighting key insurance perspectives relevant to MSME. For session 1, Country Spotlights, Trade Corridors for Indian MSMEs, I express our deep appreciation to our distinguished speakers, His Excellency Ms. Erik Holstom, Consul General, Consulate General of Finland, Mumbai, Mr. Krith Bradley, Chief Operating Officer in West Alberta and the Government of Alberta, Canada, who joined us virtually, Ms. Eva Versailles, Trade and Investment Commissioner for Flanders, FIT Mumbai, Ms. Maria Silvia Costa, Head of Economic and Trade Section, Consul General and Trade Center of Argentina Republic in Mumbai. Thank you for sharing global opportunities and strengthening India's trade opportunities for MSME. I would also like to thank Ms. Samir Patkule, Mr. C.S. Arya and Ms. Manish Sinha for their presentations. Your sessions added immense value and practical relevance to the conclave. For the panel discussion on powering India growth cycle through MSME IPOs, I express sincere appreciation to our esteemed panel members and moderator, Mr. Ajay Thakur, Mr. Riddhesh Shah, Mr. Kamal, Dharewa, Mr. Subham Chatterjee and Mr. Ajay Sharma for their engaging discussions and valuable insights into capital market access to MSME. We also extend our heartfelt gratitude to our partners for their unwavering support. Our premium sponsor, Pidilite Industries Limited, insurance partner, the New India Assurance Company Limited, associate sponsors, Axis Mutual Fund, IDBI Bank, Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, CGTMSE, and State Bank of India, knowledge partner, Bombay Stock Exchange. Your partnerships have been instrumental in success of this conclave. I would also like to thank our compare as enthusiastic as usual, Utkarsha Joshi, who we appreciate your enthusiasm and ability to keep the audience engaged throughout the sessions. Hi, Utkarsha. Last but not the least, to the distinguished audience, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend and participate in this conclave. Your presence and engagement has always added immense value to the conclave. As we conclude, I look forward to many more engaging and impactful events in the near future. Thank you once again for joining us today, and we look forward to your continued association. Thank you very much.